Mark, you're opening this one. I got nothing for the intro. This one's all you.
Okay. Do you ever get that feeling that you've been left out of the wardrobe chat and when you're supposed to wear baby blue and nobody tells you?
That was good. You know what? That's funny because as I put on this outfit, right? I got my nice blue Daiwa hat on here. I said I'm going to try to look like Shawn tonight. Shawn always rocks the baby blue.
He does.
My nice Under Armour shirt here. Look at you, buddy. See,
it goes good with my eyes.
Here's the thing. People are watching this on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
More people are listening to this on Spotify and stuff than they are watching it. But there's still a lot of people that are watching the live video or on Instagram or clips.
If you're just listening, you're missing out.
100%. So one thing I want to say to you guys who are just listening. First off, I struggle with the hat situation here all the time. It always looks crooked to me, and it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like last episode, it was really bad. But, it's the lighting. So, 2.
Blame it on the lighting and not
Woody
your head.
Yeah. Woody does such a fantastic job editing this, guys, with overlays and videos and stuff as we're talking. You're truly missing out if you're not watching this on YouTube.
Right.
So, even if you listen to it in the truck, a car on the way to work, which we greatly appreciate, check it out on YouTube. Subscribe, comment on it. Like, we want to talk about some of the stuff we talked about with you after the show. Like, we don't want the conversations to stop. We want it to keep going. You can direct message any of us on Instagram, Facebook. Call my cell phone. I don't care. I'm always happy to talk fishing.
Hold on a minute here. I want to talk about something. See, with direct messaging, I'm not very good at it.
Well, you got to hit the request.
Yeah,
thing.
but with the Instagram, I went into my direct messaging in my Instagram, and I seen a whole ton of messages from people.
Yeah.
That I never seen. I guess it's like
a request.
Yeah. I'm not a huge social media guy, right? I don't.
Let me put it this way. Shawn's my best friend, and I'm still waiting for him a reply for a text like 3 years ago.
Jeez, we're going to have...
I'm not good at it.
Do not text him.
We're going to have to fire you.
Yeah, I'm a talker. I'm a talker. I look at these.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at those.
You try to text these, okay?
Can you crush a man's skull?
In a heartbeat.
Wow.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are crazy. Anyways, there is a lot to talk about this week in fishing. I'll tell you one thing. There is a lot of walleye anglers out there that wish those guys' boats had a YOLO tech on it filming the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
100%. So I think we're going to get into this right away.
We might as well. It's only the hottest topic in fishing right now.
So when did this happen? About a week ago from filming Friday. So almost a week from when we're filming this episode.
Mm-hmm.
This changed tournament fishing forever.
You think so?
So let's back up a bit. So in case we got a few listeners that don't know what happened, because we're going to assume, even though
if you're
pretty
living
hard
under
to.
a rock or...
The Lake Erie Walleye Tour in the U.S., which is a very prominent, very well-organized, very well-run walleye tournament circuit.
It's a big one.
It's a very big one. Multiple, like hundreds of boats in some of these events. Very, very big tournament series. A couple guys who have won many events in the past were caught officially cheating by stuffing weight into these walleye.
Jake Runyon and Chase Kaminsky.
So there you go. Those are the two famous
What
names.
were those names?
Jake Runyon and Chase Kaminsky.
One more time.
Jake Runyon and Chase Kaminsky.
And now presenting Bambi.
Right?
All right. So anyway, so these guys, they have more famous than they ever wanted to be.
Oh, for all the right reasons, eh?
So what happened was, I believe somebody came up and said, look, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've watched so many different versions, heard so many different versions. Hey, that fish doesn't seem right. I caught an 8-pounder, whatever the weight was. That one doesn't look like mine. And I think there was enough assumptions over the last little bit on these guys that he finally said, let's cut a fish.
Well, I watched the weigh-in.
Yeah.
Right? I watched the whole video. And the tournament director, when he was looking at the fish, and they were 5-pound fish.
You could hear guys in the background
you could hear
questioning this, right?
Yeah, you could hear him. Like, because he was like, hold on, don't go anywhere. We got to get pictures of those fish. And when they hold them up and the crowd looked at them, you started to hear some guys in the crowd saying, yeah, right. And you see the tournament director, he just keeps looking over. Jason just keeps looking over and looking over.
So he's got a plan in his head.
He knows something's up. He wants to look at these fish. He knows, right?
And you know what? He sliced that fish so quick. He was ready. Boys, we got weights in fish. And so first off, I want to give a shout out to him, as I think in a very emotional, high tense, stressful situation, which involved him, whether he liked it or not, as a TD, tournament director. He handled it very well.
Well, I think his profession, I think, helped him stay calm and be. I guess he's a police officer, right, for his day job.
Okay.
So I think his training and to deal with people and stuff really helped in that situation, because I don't know if I could have been as calm as he was.
Well, I think the fact that everybody there too knows that he's a police officer, everybody stopped, because if something like that happened around here, guys are getting dummied, man.
You're probably right. And I think, too, as you could tell he was talking like a police officer. He says something along the lines, and don't quote me word for word, but, all right, I want everybody to back up and leave these guys alone.
Yep.
As in, like, we're going to deal with this situation one way or the other. But this is crazy. So, first off, I believe it was lead weights or metal, whatever it was.
Lead weights.
Yeah. So, these guys didn't just put a few ounces in these fish. I think it was like a total of 8 pounds.
8 pounds.
Yeah, and the crazy thing
fish.
is they would have won the Derby anyway.
You know what? I don't think that's true, because I was looking at the...
They had 25 pounds.
They had 25 pounds.
Yeah. They needed 16 pounds to win, and they ended up with like 32 pounds or something.
I have the results for that tournament there. Second place actually came in at 28.18.
So either way, what I'm getting at on these 8 pounds, cheating from a cheating standpoint, you would almost think it'd be realistic. Someone said, let's try to get a couple pounds. 8 pounds.
That's a third. That's 30% of the weight.
They got greedy.
That's
because Team of the Year was on the line too, right?
Yep.
So they needed Team of the Year, and they wanted to win.
For sure.
So they got greedy, and that greed will get you, right?
Yeah. No, I think
and we should probably shout out to the actual winners of this thing, because all these guys are getting the limelight, and we should probably congratulate Steve and Chris.
Steve and Chris, congratulations, guys. I hope you guys see this, because
for winning it legit.
Yeah.
Legitly.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, sorry, the cheaters' names, because you know what? You know what? Good on you, Mark, for mentioning that. We gave these cheaters, we celebrated these people almost more than we ever talked about a winner. And that's just the way the world is. Like, this might be a little out there, so you guys decide if you want to edit it or not. But I always said, you know what? Maybe we'd stop having as many serial killers if Netflix would stop giving them a 12-part documentary every time.
Yeah.
Right? But it's just like these people, like you cheat. Everyone knows these guys' name now, but nobody knows who's getting second, third, fourth, fifth, you know?
Right.
It's too bad. So what I'm getting at, though, is too on this is I want to say congrats to the tournament, TD. Like, not congrats, but I watched your statement and, like, dude, I understand what you're going through.
Oh, he was tore up.
You're tore up.
He was very emotional at one point.
You feel like you let people down and stuff. I don't know all the details about what's happened in other events leading up to this, but I genuinely believe that he did not want this in any way. And he's gonna make it up to the anglers somehow or the other. But the same thing, giving everybody their tournament fee back. Like, some people are saying, everyone should get their tournament entry fees back for the last 3 years. Well, that's not solving anything.
Yeah, that's already paid out.
Yeah,
good luck.
Right?
Good luck. That's not how that works. It's not gonna put that guy. You'll put him out of business, and you'll have nowhere to fish.
Yeah. So what do you do to change this? Well, how do you move forward?
Well, I'm seeing now everybody's talking about metal detectors. Okay.
Metal detectors that pick up lead weight.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, if you had a metal detector, it wasn't picking up lead.
The thing,
right? It just wouldn't do it. But today's metal detectors will 100% pick up lead.
But guys, these things also had fillets down them. Like, we can put weight in the fish without using metal.
Yeah, so they would wrap the weight with the fillet to make it feel softer.
So how do you explain the scissors? Did they just get stuck down there when they're shoving the weight down? Like, why would you put scissors in there?
I don't remember seeing scissors.
There was scissors.
I don't recall that. I missed that.
There was weights, a pair of scissors, and then the fillets.
Okay, so, like, let's go back one step. So some organizations are already announcing that they're taking steps. I know U.S. guys stepped up. I know CSFL already made a statement they're going to have a metal detector at each event, like a hand one, like only to use in certain circumstances. The thing, though, is, like, we can take, like we said, these guys went for 8 pounds. The average cheater is probably going to go for a pound.
Right.
Rubber balls. I just feel like, there's ways to cheat still, and that's unfortunate. But there's a way to cheat in everything in life.
Yeah.
So do you think it's happening as much as people now think it is?
Well, we've had our own bout with cheating a few years ago with the Top Bass series, right? So we're not strangers to the whole cheating thing.
So let's go into that. Tell everybody about that experience.
Okay, I would say how many? Well, probably the last year Top Bass ran. There was a team came out of the middle of nowhere and started winning everything. Fabio Testa was his name.
And Guy Amoruso.
These guys were hammering it. That nobody had ever heard of these guys really before, and then they just came out and started winning everything. And I remember at the Classic, we were at the meeting, and I believe it was Josh Westring came up and said, "Look at this, boys! Look what I found!" And he had the basket that he found that his father saw somebody checking on the Mitchell Canal there.
Yep. Seen him covering it up with bull rushes
and stuff. So he took a canoe out and went out and saw what it was, and sure enough, it was baskets of fish that these guys had planned. 2 days worth of fish. You guys had planned. It was the next day, right?
That's crazy.
So unfortunately, they didn't get they were removed. I think it would have been a lot bigger if they would have caught them red-handed, if they would have just sat somebody on there to watch these baskets and wait for these guys to come get them.
100%.
But everybody knew who it was, and they actually weren't at the meeting that night because I was at that meeting. And I made a classic. I was at that meeting, and they actually showed up in the morning. Nobody had said anything to them or anything, and they put their boat in, and they were getting ready to do a check-in. And Gerard and Jared pulled up on them and said, "You guys better get out of here." And they did. They put their boat on the trailer, and they took off, and they never came back.
Yeah, because you look at Gerard and Jared, and they were like, that was in their golden years too. They were hammering, but those guys were doing it legit.
Oh yeah,
out there throwing a black jig nonstop, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Now these guys roll in and start taking away first place from them.
Yep.
Right, cost them a lot of money.
Yeah, they're lucky they got off.
They didn't even win Rice Lake, and they cheated.
Well,
right?
So this is considered fraud. So these guys are probably facing jail time.
Oh yeah, it's a criminal offense.
Yeah, it's a criminal offense.
It's theft. It's fraud.
So what's crazy about it is how far this went in the mainstream media. Like every news outlet on the planet.
TMZ, buddy.
TMZ, Howard Stern, CBC.
It was on our local news, national news.
I couldn't believe how many people messaged me this week, buddies that aren't in the fishing, and hey, this really flip your industry upside down or what? Or, oh, this is how it works. You weigh fish. Oh, that's cool. I get it now. If I was just you went out and caught big fish or the most fish or whatever, it's. So is there any positives as an industry we can take away from this, or is it all just a black shadow?
No, I think there's going to be some positive because people are going to pay attention to it.
Yep.
That now all of a sudden, they're doing these tournaments, so let's check out these tournaments, see what this is all about. People are already looking into it for being curious.
Yeah.
So,
no, I think it has adverse effects. I think it's good for the tournament, kind of, as people that may think of being dishonest will now think, okay, there's going to be some huge repercussions if I get caught here. So, I'm not even going to try.
You don't want to be a Runyon.
No, you don't want to be a Runyon. Don't be a Runyon.
No, there's definitely guys that will definitely think twice about cheating ever again.
Oh yeah.
And I have no patience for anybody that's into that. I would be pretty upset if I was at that event and I was second place.
Well, we were down at the Franny Cup and we had that video within a half an hour of it happening.
Wow.
Right? And I'm standing around. We all watched it together, and I stopped and I looked at the boys and said, "Well, there goes my plan for tomorrow."
The power of social media is really something.
Oh, it's crazy.
News travels. Anyways, it's crazy, but I'm telling you right now, Jacob and Chase, you're lucky you didn't have a Yellow Tech on there with the footage.
Yeah.
So what? You guys go on yellowtech.ca, type in Tech TAK15, courtesy of Chase and Jacob. You're gonna get a discount now.
There you go.
Yeah, type it in. Yellowtech.ca.
Well, maybe that's an answer. Everything is on film.
Same time though, what's to stop me from walking up, stopping my GoPro?
You can't have a stop. It runs off. The Yellowtech is power, nonstop, constant.
You're not changing
video
batteries.
Footage. No changing batteries, no running out of power.
Yeah.
You can see the whole boat from right there, from start to finish. And it'll tell you if it stops.
I'm a huge supporter of this idea.
Right?
Yeah. So
Well,
who foots this? Who supplies? Do you have to have this to have it?
So first off, every boat in Bass Elites has a yellow tech on it.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Everyone. So and they don't touch them. You don't touch the cameras. It's bad. You do it. So I don't know, but like I actually said this before this whole situation came up. I said to somebody, I run my YOLO tech all the time because then there's never a doubt. Like someone's like, hey, like not that dude, I'm not good enough to freaking.
I know nobody's going to
get my point.
Like 7 pounds.
No, but you get my point. But that one day where you know what, I finally like put it together because I've actually got some time on the water and no one can ever. Yeah, here it is. I never got up once. Here's 8 hours of footage. Go through it.
Yeah.
You know, it's covers. Like if I was here, when you're on top, as you know, Mark. No matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know people there.
I need a minute to laugh. Right? I need a minute.
When you're on top in any sport, for example, people are always trying to take it away from you.
Yep.
That guy's cheating. He's doing something wrong. That race car's got a cheater motor in it. You know, this guy did this. This guy did that. That guy's on roids because he can throw a football that much better. Everyone always tries to take away the hard work. Like, I think I'll use. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong on this. And I'm going to drop names. Mike Williams and Dwayne Jacobs. Was it like 3 years ago? Those guys had fantastic season.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think they got called out.
it.
They got called out a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, those guys can fish.
The Johnsons got called out.
Johnsons get called out.
Yeah.
Like Dwayne and Mike, dude, two of the nicest guys on the planet. They literally know those lakes like they're guides. Like they can catch fish. Like, you know what I mean? Chris and Corey, they get accused cheating. They did all the time, right? Dude, the guys can outfish 99%, if not every single person in the country at all times, right? Like it's.
On that point with 0-1.
Yeah. Yeah, my point. Like somebody's always trying to beat you down when you're on top.
That's true. That's true.
The more people are calling you out, I think the better you're doing sometimes.
I really think the only answer to it is constant video footage.
Yeah.
It doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
So how many people do you think will just start filming themselves now just to have this protection, stop an accusation?
Well,
I don't
Why
think
wouldn't
everybody has to worry about that.
especially you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so let's back up then. The protesting. So the metal detector doesn't go off. It's someone still, like, we can't just start gutting every fish.
No.
What is the right answer here? We still have to do our part as anglers for conservation. Like, nothing's gonna be worse than when you're like, that fish doesn't weigh 6 pounds. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. And you're the tournament director.
So for the people out there that don't tournament fish, to put in a protest is something that you have to go to the tournament director, fill out paper, put in a cash deposit, and if the protest comes back good, then you get your money back. If it comes back not good, you lose your money.
Yeah, so it's basically to make sure that before you do a protest, you're dead serious, you feel like you got a case, so you don't waste everybody's time. Because same time, even if I accused you, Mark, of cheating and you didn't, and you got proved that you didn't, it's not fun for anybody.
No,
right?
it's not.
So what I'm saying is, there's a skinny 6-pounder here, and I'm going, Shawn, that thing doesn't weigh 6 pounds. They're like, well, it does. Scale says it does. And I'm like, no, I'm protesting. The only answer is to cut that. As a tournament director, you gut that fish. I just got a nice 6-pound fish. There was nothing in it. I just killed a good fish. What are the answers here? How are we going to police this, enforce this? Why can't we just go back to people being good, moral people?
Whenever there's money involved, you got to take that chance.
Yeah, that's it, eh?
Yeah.
What I don't know the answers, but I definitely don't want us to drop this subject. I think, as the winter goes on, we should check in with tournament directors and see, like, what are they thinking? How are they going to do this? I want to follow this.
Yeah.
I want
it'd be something to see.
So I'll give you another example on, it's not just weights. So back in one of the kayak events a few years ago, we actually had somebody. So when you do these kayak events, you have a measuring board. So you can't submit anything under 12 inches. Well, this gentleman actually cut his board down and glued it back together.
I heard about that last year.
3 years.
Yeah,
ago
like
now.
with COVID, we lost 2
So
years, so it could be 3 or 4 years ago.
So first off,
Yeah.
it wasn't in the OKBT. They run a really tight ship over there. They have really good judges, John and Paul. They don't screw around with that stuff. It was in a different organization. And I'm not saying that they did anything wrong because they caught this guy. So they run a tight ship too, but this guy got caught. And so they disqualify him from all events and stuff. But what I'm saying is, like, people are going to every length, no pun intended, to literally win.
Right. Well,
Like how much less confidence can you have in yourself to think, okay, every time I go, I'm going to need this board that shaves an inch off every,
Right.
Well,
or
like-
adds an inch on everything.
Like I always said, like thieves, someone steals. So someone's, stole my snowmobile as a kid. And I was so devastated. We were so devastated, me and my brothers. And it's like, how could you get on that sled and ride it every day knowing you took it from somebody? Like, get a job like everybody else. Buy your stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's crazy.
God made all kinds, my man.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they sure did.
That's why we have a police force.
Yeah. So,
Where my hat? See my hat? Is that
Toronto police.
Toronto police?
Yeah. It's, I just, hey, like I said, TEK15, Tech15, yellowtech.ca.
Yeah.
Check yourself, kids.
Yeah, we'll see. With that, there's a cost, right? If the tournaments had to bring that in, and it's just like saying you got to have a live well on your boat.
Yep.
You have to have a stick
now-
and you have to have a camera.
You have to have a stick and you have to have a camera and you have to submit your card at the end of the day,
Yeah.
If chosen.
if chosen. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I know what you can do with that too is, so on the kayak tournaments for the pitchers, you have to have an identifier. You don't get that identifier till like 9 p.m. the night before.
That's
so nobody can take a picture in
Yeah.
daylight of a fish caught yesterday. Give it an identifier the morning of the tournament. They got to hold it up in front of the camera to prove that that's the day.
That's the day. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Even though, and footage is usually timestamped, but hey, there's ways around all that stuff. So it's a good idea.
Yeah.
We may have to enforce it in the Tin Boat Championship.
There you go.
What are we going to call this?
The Tin Boat Championship may need cameras because I think it's going to get pretty extreme out there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
You fishing it?
Buddy, I'm going to win it.
We're going to cut it. Call
Actually,
it. What are we going to call it? What are you going to call it?
Well, here's what I was thinking though. I was like, I really want to fish it, but then I'm like, I really want to run a camera boat and make sure we get like some unbelievable footage. Like I almost wouldn't mind emceeing the event.
You got to fish it. I think we should call it the Cutoff Cup.
The cutoff
The 10 cup.
tin cup,
The Tin Cup.
tin cup. I think we should have a show and shine the night before everyone brings their boat. And we
You
line
can bring
up.
the chromer.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna
That'd
bring
be
the
sweet.
chromer or what?
Well, you meet at like the local marina restaurant. We'll like line all the tin boats up for a photo.
Oh, this thing's getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be huge. We got to pick a date too. My schedule's filling up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the OKBT kayak series was announced. We have John on here in a little bit, and it's freaking badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got divorced last night when I gave my wife all the dates.
Really? Your
Yeah.
wife's single now?
I'm going to be gone all summer.
Really?
She's like, good. I was like, really? She's like, I don't give a shit.
Your wife could move in with my wife.
There you go. Actually, they sponsored this show too. Leanne Crowther's Beauty Real Estate. Give her a call. You get a discount on buying a house right now.
15%.
Do you legit?
Is it
or
like
you-
the YOLO Tech discount? 15 points or what?
I don't think there's that many points in it, but but anyways, yeah, it's crazy. So that's it.
Well, I got a really good story.
Let's hear it.
Well, everybody knows that I was headed down to Alabama to go and pre-practice.
How does everybody know?
Everybody knows?
Everybody who listens to this.
Yeah, everybody who listens. I was heading down to Alabama to go pre-practice on Lake Pickwick with Danny McGarry, our national contender. We were going down there for a week, and on the way home, we were going to stop in Nashville.
I don't remember you asking for holidays.
On the way home, we were going to stop in Nashville for a couple of days. So for the week getting up to it, we did all kinds of work on Danny's boat, put all new Garmin units on it, put the Garmin Force on it,
Sweet.
ran new fuse blocks, new power poles, did the whole deal on his boat, right? So we spent a few days working on that. We were going to leave on the Thursday, but we ended up taking one more day just to dial the boat in, get it all tight, get it all perfect. And so we ended up leaving at 2 a.m. Friday morning from my place. So we hit the road. We're jacked. We boogie. We're headed down. We're going across the border in Windsor, Detroit.
Okay.
So we get there, and as we're rolling up to the gates, I'm pretty observant at the border, right? I'm looking around. We rolled up to one. There was one car in front of us. He went through after a few minutes, and then the arm came down to stop us from going in. So we're just sitting there, and I'm watching everybody, and it's taken unusually longer because usually you roll up to the border in under 3 minutes.
Oh yeah.
You're through.
Yeah, for sure.
And we sat at this gate for 15 minutes before it raised back up.
And wait, was there a car still in front of you?
No.
It was empty. So something else is going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were sitting there, and I'm watching, and it was like 5 minutes a vehicle. And I'm like, something's not right. So the gate finally comes up. We roll up to this real nice U.S. border guard. Good morning, sir. How are you? And he just stares blankly at us, like with a grin on his face.
So
no response.
Why did they do that?
Well, they try this
'Cause they
intimidation
know they
tactics,
can.
right?
But like, is that like in their training? Like,
Yeah.
let's intimidate.
Yeah. It's
'Cause
part of it to see if they can make you nervous.
Sometimes you get an awesome one though.
Yeah. I've had many awesome ones.
Yeah.
I've had
Right?
more good ones than bad ones.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
They don't like me.
Yeah, I've had a
That's
bunch.
because your
of bad
hat's
ones, too.
crooked.
And because my beard's horrible.
So this border guard, we roll up. Where are you going? Well, sir, we're going down to Alabama. We're going fishing. You're going all the way to Alabama just to go fishing? Yes, sir. You're really going fishing? Well, we got a 20-foot bass boat on the back of the truck. Like, you don't just rip around with that for fun, you know? And he looks at Danny. He's like, you ever been in trouble at the border? Danny's like, the last time I came down, I got, because he was our national contender last year.
Yeah.
And everybody remembers the story of Danny going down, and they turned him away.
Yeah.
Well, when he was going down to the Derby, he couldn't cross the border, but he could fly down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So he ended up having to get a boat. Somebody lent him a boat down there, and he ended up fishing. But anyway, so he tells the guard, he's like, yeah, I got returned the last time I was here, going through down to the same kind of deal. I'm the national contender, and no response from the guy. And then he started asking us a bunch of other questions about work and where we lived and how much money we have on us. Then he looks at me and he's like, you ever been arrested? I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, haven't you? Right? You know? And he's like, what happened there? Well, I got arrested when I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Right? Haven't been arrested since.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like getting arrested.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's not my thing, right? I'd rather go fishing.
Man, if HR is listening to this, we're screwed. We're going to need a third host for next week.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy, he just had this look on his face, and my stomach turned, right? I'm like, oh man. He looks at Danny, he's like, you vaccinated? Danny's like, yeah. And the guy never said anything to me, never asked me.
Okay.
You don't ask, I don't tell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
So he's like, you guys got to go into secondary. So we're like, no problem. So we roll around into this stretch where they park us. There was 8 border guards, 4 on each side of us, right? 2 at the truck, and then 2 on each side of the boat, right? There's 8 of them.
Yeah.
They open the doors. Leave your phone on the dash. No problem. Here you go. Hop out. Morning, guys. No response. Okay, it's going to be that kind of day.
Yeah.
Right? I'm looking at Danny, and I'm just like, I roll my eyes, and I'm like, okay, right? This is going down. So we walk into the office. We go to sit down. The guy's like, I'll take you 2 right here. Okay. Walk up, hand him our paperwork. He looks at Danny. He's like, you vaccinated? Danny's like, yes, sir. You got proof? He's like, on my phone in my truck, I do. So go get it. Danny turns around. The guy looks at me. He's like, what about you? I said, am I vaccinated? He's like, yes. I said, no, sir, I'm not. He's like, you're unvaccinated? Just like, I'm like, ooh, okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm unvaccinated. I'm trying to have a kid with my wife, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we made a choice, right?
Which is ultimately you feel is your decision.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah, I don't care if you're vaccinated or you're
I don't-
vaccinated.
Whatever. That's all between it's your own business. As far as I'm concerned, it's your own business.
I don't care, right?
Yeah.
I don't care. So he's like, you're not vaccinated? I'm like, no, sir, I'm not. He's like, well, somebody's going home today. I said, well, can he still go through? If he's got proof. I said, perfect. I said, because, this trip's for him.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just going along to make sure the kid eats, make sure all the vehicles work, make sure the boat gets plugged in at night. I'm there for support, right?
Yeah.
Keep him busy. Like, we weren't doing a lot of fishing. That wasn't the plan.
No.
Like, when this kid goes and pre-practices, he drives and scans and marks and very little fishing. He's breaking the body of water down, right? It's not about going out and finding fish now when he's going there a month from now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do what these kids do, right?
No, it's a lot of time.
So,
I think he did 50 hours of scanning.
Yeah.
Danny.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, man, no problem. I'm going to have a seat. So I sit down. Danny comes back in and shows him his paperwork. And the guy's like, okay. He's like, here you go. You're going back and you can go through. Danny's like, oh my God. He's like, you can't come? I'm like, it's no big deal, bud. He's like, you want me to drive you home? I'm like, kid,
Yeah.
you're going to drive me another 5.5 hours home to come 5.5 hours back? You're going to lose a whole day.
Yeah.
I said, you're going to take me right now over to that Enterprise car rental right there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rent myself a vehicle.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drive myself home.
Yeah.
Right. So I hopped out of the rental place, got myself a rental, and
They give you like a smart car or something.
No.
I just see you bobbing.
He tried to.
All pissed
Don't
off
even-
driving down the road.
Don't even get me started on rentals. Don't even get me started on rental cars. I've been at Enterprise more the last 3 months than I have been in my own house.
Right.
They know you by name there.
Oh, big time. Anyways, keep
Right.
going.
So
Sorry.
I get a rental and I throw all my rods and gear in and I book it home. Disappointed was my word of the day. Disappointed.
That's right. You called me that day. What's on? Just disappointed.
Yeah, just disappointed.
Disappointed. Not angry. Just disappointed.
Just disappointed. What do you
Word you
really?
described
What are you
yourself
gonna
to me?
What are you going to do? So, but when we went back, the border guard, the Canadian border guard, he says, something must be going on over there. You're the second guy today, and we haven't seen this in a while.
Yeah.
When Danny came back last weekend, the girl at the border said, yeah, something was going on. They sent like 30 people home that day.
Really?
Yeah. They were doing some kind of blitz. They're pissed off that we're lifting our,
For sure.
Yeah.
right?
But
Yeah.
you picked the absolute worst border to go to.
Well, hey, I'm not the
Yeah.
guy that goes down there fishing all the time.
Yeah.
Danny's got the border. He's like, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. And I'm like, okay, kid,
Yeah.
right? Make the decision and I roll with you, right?
Yeah. For sure.
I'm just there for support. So I come home and I talked to Krzysztof Tatasko, right? The Polish prince. And he's like, you know what would make this all better? I'm like, what, Chris? What would make this all better? He's like, if we went fishing. I'm like, you think? He's like, yeah. He's like, let's go fishing. I said, you know what, Chris? I'll tell you this right now. I said, pick a lake. I don't care where it is. I said, and we'll go at the crack of stupid, and we'll be up there for daybreak, and we will fish all day.
And
He's like, I can pick the lake. I'm like, pick the lake. He's like, Lake of Bays. I'm like, boom, let's go. Lake of Bays is like 3 hours from me, right?
Yeah.
he's pre-fishing.
Yeah,
he was.
he was pre-fishing. He had his classic for his club this weekend.
It didn't do him much good.
Well, it did good for Tony,
Yeah, it did.
right? So anyway, so me and Chris, we go up to Lake of Bays, right? We take my boat, we go up there, and I'm live scoping fish, and Chris is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "We don't use our live scope like this." I'm like, "Well, this is how you do it."
See, people use it. Like, remember when Corey was in studio? People use it differently.
Yeah,
I use it like, freaking love live scope.
yeah,
To me, it's not like it makes. I just love using it. Like, I freaking love, especially jigging, like
yeah.
anything like that. If people like, I get so mad when people are like, oh, we should ban it. No. You just like, guys, it's actually affordable now.
Yeah.
You can, well, first off, you can buy a first gen Panoptix transducer, like literally for peanuts anywhere used. You can buy the
And you
LVS
don't need
32s
you don't need a
going.
black box for the LVS 12, right?
Exactly. LVS 32 is affordable now. They're used everywhere. LVS 30. Guys, like this, you guys are buying freaking $100 million in Mega Bass every year. Just buy yourself a live scope and join the party.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
come on.
So we go live scoping, and we catch a ton of fish. Like, we lit them up.
Yeah.
We had a great day.
Yeah.
And then we go into this one back bay. He's like, okay, I want to check this one spot. He's like, we're going to pull up to this point. He's like, there's going to be a tree in the water, and in that tree live a bass and a pike. They're roommates. I'm looking at him. I'm like, what do you know that
Is
I
this
don't
how
know?
they do this in Poland?
I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, trust me, just trust me.
They're
He's like, if there was ever a time to trust me, he's like, it's right now. We roll up. He skips a Sanko in. This bass comes screaming out, eats his Sanko. What comes out? It just sits there looking at the bass.
The pike.
The pike.
The pike.
He's like, look, there's a pike. And I'm like, get out of here. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, that is something else, bud. Something else. You're something special. I don't know what you are, but you're something special.
That is a cool story.
Yeah. So he calls Tony. He calls Tony right away. He's like, yeah, they're still there. He's like, should I collect the rent?
Yeah.
Right?
That's funny.
Yeah. So on the way home, I dropped Chris off, and I met him in Lindsay, And as I drop Chris off, Phil Haggerty gives me a call. He's like, what are you doing this week? I said, well, I was supposed to be out of town, but now I'm in town. He's like, well, it's good you're in town because would like to fish the Franny Cup, and Steven can't fish it with me this year. Like, they're just so smoked with work. And, you know, they're going down to the, was it either the Pan American or the Worlds? I think they're going to the Worlds in a couple of weeks. Okay. You know, and for them both to be off work, like,
they got a business
tough.
to run.
Yeah. But Phil really likes fishing Franny, and they're really good down there, the two of them.
Yeah.
And me and Phil, we're good buddies, right?
He's a great
Phil.
dude.
I love Phil.
I like Phil too.
So he says, I'm going to give you a couple days to think about it. And I'm like, yes.
I'm there.
He's like, well, you're going to have to ask your wife. I'm like, no, man, you don't understand. I'm not supposed to be here this week. And she was planning on keeping the house clean all week. No messes. And if I'm gone, equals no messes. She'll be happy.
This is a win-win this is a win-win situation. Right? It's a win-win situation.
Yeah. She was probably more devastated you were coming back than you were.
Yeah, exactly.
What? They didn't let you send them through.
Yeah.
Get a coyote, go through the tunnel.
Yeah, right? So Phil and I, we hook up on Wednesday evening. We drive down, and we got down there, and we got right into the drinks. Right?
No, you guys.
Yeah, we got right into the drinks. We had a few drinks. We had a nice meal. It was awesome. We hung out with a bunch of the guys, like
steak,
Jasper and Pro. Oh yeah. Well, actually, we went to a really nice Italian place, and you don't go to the Italian place and have the steak. You go to the Italian place, you got the pasta.
Then why'd you say yeah when I said steak?
No, because
did he not say yes? I said you have steak, and he said yeah.
No, somebody else had a steak.
Some quinoa or something.
Jasper had a steak.
Okay.
No, Jasper had lasagna that night. Jasper had a steak. Another night. We had dinner every night.
Wow.
But anyway.
Like you said, the drinks were flowing.
They were flowing real good. Lost them that week. So anyway, we get out the next morning, Thursday morning, for pre-practice or for pre-fish. So we're gonna have 2 days. So we get out on the water, the first spot, and I hop on the back of the boat, open up the thing, I'm grabbing out some baits, Phil boats a fish, first drop, lets it go. I'm like, holy Phil. He pulls up another one. He had 2 fish in the boat before I even got my line in the water. I'm like, right on. He's like, all right, we're going to our next spot. So we tour around. We're checking out a bunch of stuff. And we were running across this one spot. It said 7 feet. And we took the skag off.
Oh.
When the skag come off, it ripped off the side of the lower unit. So all the gear oil, boom, gone right away. And when the side ripped off, it hit the prop and came back toward the boat and cut off the side scan transducer. Cut it clean.
Oh no!
Cut it clean. Gone. Right. So we hit this thing. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, shut her down. He shuts her down. We hop up. He's like, I smell gear oil. I'm like, oh yeah, we smell gear oil. He puts her up. I'm like, oh yeah. I said, we're probably gonna need a tow. We both pull out our phones, and we're on our phone right away.
Yeah.
Right? Joey
Mazinski?
No, Joey Joey and Joey. Joey
T and Joey C.
Yeah.
Great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey's amazing. In like not even 10 minutes, I would say, he comes bombing across the lake. Steven called him, right? And he comes bombing across the lake. He's like, hey, boys. Need a lift?
Got a sail on toes today.
We're like, oh, yeah. So he ties us up and spends an hour dragging us back in, an hour out of his day pre-fishing.
Yeah.
Joey and Joey were up for Team of the Year, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and they, for him to take time out of his day, he's a beauty. Those guys are awesome.
Smart guys that know what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
And they're going to need a tow one day.
So we're looking for a bottom end. We're on the phone with all kinds of people. You cannot get a lower unit for that Merc 300 until October 27th, right?
Wow.
So we're like, oh no. So Phil calls DT. Now this is another whole thing with being sponsored and having a good relationship with your sponsors and going out of your way for your sponsors.
Now, let's also let everybody know how far DT is from where you were.
Okay, so we're in Cornwall, Ontario, which is all the way out at the end of Ontario by Montreal, and we have to go to Uxbridge, which is north of Whitby, right? So we are 5 hours.
Easily.
Right?
Yeah.
So Phil calls DT, and they say it's for Phil Haggerty. He needs a lower end. He's got to be on the water. He's got a derby this weekend. And Greg at DT's like, go pull the one off that boat right there and have it ready when he gets here. And the mechanic said that he would stay. Like they closed, I think, at 5:00.
Yeah.
7:15, we rolled in. The mechanic was there waiting for us.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable what these guys did for us. So the mechanic, we rolled in at 7:15. By on the way home or on the way back to DT to get the lower unit fixed, we blew a trailer tire on the highway.
You're having a good day.
Dude,
Yeah.
me and Phil changed. We were talking to Moose on the phone on the way back, right? We blow this tire. We're in the left-hand lane. Boom, we feel it. Both of us look out the passenger side window. I'm like, we blew a tire. Phil's like, boom, on the side of the road. If it was more than 5 minutes before we were back on the road with that tire changed.
So it's just a tire, no bearing, no other problems.
No, just tire.
Okay.
Tire, smoked the tire.
Yeah.
We had that tire changed, lickety split. I said, Moose, we'll call you back. We blew a tire. When I called back Moose, he's like, so you guys okay? You need help or what? We're like, no, we're done. He's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, no way.
Yeah. That was like my old man, dude. I like, oh, dude, the guy's like, when you got a system down, you've been there, you got her down.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I pulled out the tools. Phil cracked the nuts.
Yeah.
I grabbed the block, threw it on the thing, hopped in the truck, backed it up. See, Phil keeps a 6x6 with a 45 cut on it.
So you can back
the
up
back
on
of his
it.
truck. You can back up because it's a dual axle trailer. Right?
You know what? I'm putting one of those in my truck tomorrow now, just for him saying that. Like the snowmobile trailers, a boat trailer, like everything done.
Dude, it's
Just lifts it right up.
Yeah.
Crack the bolts.
Yeah.
Drive her back. And lickety split.
Yep. So when we got back to DT, it was 7:15 at night on Thursday. And by 7:45, we'd swapped out the spare tire because Steven's boat was in the shop there getting work done. We took Steven's spare tire off his boat, put it for a spare on our boat.
Yep.
Right. Swapped out the lower unit, water tested it, and we were gone by 7:45 on the way back to Cornwall.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We got back in Cornwall at 12:30. And had a couple of drinks, just to celebrate our victory. Well, I told Phil, I said, Phil, this is our theme song. And I put on that T-Pain. All I do is win, no matter what. Right?
You ever heard that song?
Yeah,
Yes, I've heard it.
That's what we woke up to the next morning to go pre-fish. And Phil was just like, you're amazing.
So how'd you guys do?
We had a pretty solid pre-fish. We found him shallow. We found him deep. Right.
Yep.
So we wanted both fish. We day one, we sat on our shallow fish for a little bit too long, Phil thinks. He's like, we should have pushed off early. We should have went deep early because when we went out deep, it was bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
But we didn't have very long deep. And we ended up with 18.56, I think we brought it.
Nice. That guy, those Phil and Steven are smallmouth like gurus, man.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to fish with those guys, you take it.
I have learned. That was it. I got to go and spend 5 days in a boat with Phil Haggerty.
Yeah.
It's sold. I've learned so much fishing with Phil.
Yeah.
Right. And he's slowed me down a lot. Right. He's slowed me right down. Like now, my trolling motor barely goes above 3. I'm not unless you're chasing.
Yeah.
Right. That's a different deal. But when you're out searching and you're just trying to sneak through, just fishing slow and methodical, like he's slowed me right down. And some of the other things he does, like I've seen some of his tricks. Nothing I'll let out of the bag.
No, and you shouldn't.
Yeah. He's
You can tell me after.
him and Steven are pretty smart cats.
Oh, I know.
They're pretty smart.
Their results speak for themselves, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they're good guys off the water,
and the
too.
memory, because he looks at the waypoints. He can look at his waypoints and he can tell you what's there,
Yeah.
what's going on, when they fished it, how they did there, whether the spot's good for a day, whether it's good for 2 days, whether it reloads. This is the time of year to fish that. It's insane the amount of knowledge the guy knows.
If I'm correct, I feel like I remember they're not like, they haven't been doing tournaments a long time.
Dude.
Or have they been doing it forever?
I think it was like 2010.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought I heard that when you were talking about it on
and
another
they were
podcast.
B1 team of the year. They got the rings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
there's a few people like that. Like, even like, Like Tim Fernandez has only been fishing tournaments since like 2015 or something, right? Like there's lots of guys that just when you figure it out, okay, forget. There's so many good anglers that don't tournament fish, period, out there.
Yep.
Tons. Like I know, like my brother is a stick man. My brother can catch anything.
So
He's a
can Shawn's
stick,
brother.
Right?
With a stick.
Well,
Yeah, my brother.
No, but you get my
Doesn't
point.
even have
though.
a rod.
You get my point though. Like there's just guys that just aren't in the tournament fishing, which a ton of the guys that listen to this show are not in the tournament fishing, and we talk about it a lot. But the point being is like there's a lot of guys out there that they can make a fool out of a lot of us if they
Not just guys either.
girls.
Yeah.
We got some impressive women fishing now.
Yes, we do.
Impressive, what they can do, their skill sets and stuff. So that's awesome. No, that's a crazy week. So I think we're gonna kind of stick on this theme as we're talking. We're gonna go from the bass boat lower ends, and I want to dip into a little bit of some of this kayak stuff. And you know what's funny? I know not everybody's into it, but there's a ton of people that are getting into this sport.
It's huge right now.
There's a ton of people that are interested and want to know more. And we're going to give John Dean a call from the OKBT. And I think he's actually going to announce their schedule tonight on this show.
Oh, wow.
So let's give him a call here now.
Sweet.
John Dean, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good, Kyle. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I'm just sitting here with Mark and Shawn. As you know, we're on the CanCastpodcast. And we were talking about, the OKBT and kayak fishing and just, where the sport's going. And I personally consider you one of the pioneers of the sport in Canada, especially for bringing it to the provincial tournament level that you have done it. And we just wanted to kind of, check in and see what's in store for you guys and how this last year went and what's going on in the world of kayak fishing.
Yeah, well,
that's a loaded question.
That's a lot. I was going to say, that's a lot to get at. Let's break that down a little bit.
All right, so let's talk about this past year. How was it? You guys had some record events. So
this past year was, in a word, amazing. This was our 5th season that we just finished, which was hard to believe to start with. And, we couldn't have asked it to go any better. Again, we saw growth throughout all the events.
Yep.
We ended up averaging 99 anglers per event over 5 events this year.
Wow.
And what was the record turnout?
We broke last year's record, which was a record, and we set it again this year with 112 anglers.
How awesome is that?
That's just amazing. That was at Lake St. Clair. So
the 112 anglers floating around in rubber tubs.
So 5 years you've been going, John. Was there opportunities before that, like just on a smaller scale, or was there just nothing until you stepped up?
No, and that was part of the problem in Ontario. They had a small tournament. I don't even want to say series, but there was this Ontario Kayak Fishing Series would put on 2 or 3 events a year, smaller scale, 20 to 30 anglers come out. It was usually multi-species. It went on for a couple of years. Then there was the Border City Classic, which was a one day or a 2-day event down on Lake St. Clair, ran by Rich Offner. And it went on for, I want to say 6 years, I think. But it hasn't been around for the last 4 or 5. And that was about it. And that's sort of how the OKBT came around. Was there was a number of us that were, sort of dedicated kayak tournament guys. And we found ourselves driving down to New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan on a regular basis to fish events. And we just kind of said, enough's enough. And, we're not going to wait for somebody to take the steps. So I jumped in and just, took the reins and knew what we liked in tournaments, knew what we didn't like, knew what worked, what didn't work, and tried to put the best foot forward. And this is what we've created, and it seems to be working. So,
how many kayaks were at your first event? Can you remember?
If I remember correctly, I think it was 45.
And that was
still pretty good.
And that was at Balsam, right? Was that right?
That was Balsam Lake, and on opening day in June in 2018. Yep.
Yeah, it's phenomenal to see like the success story of where it's gotten to. And I also want to mention too, you and Paul, who were kind of doing this together. I know you kind of had up a lot of it, but you guys are literally volunteering your time.
Correct.
You guys have done so much for this sport without taking a dime away from it. And I don't think people, sometimes like any tournament director, you get a hard time on this, mostly praise, but you know what? There's always a few bad apples. But I don't think people realize the amount of hours that go into organizing any event, let alone 5 of them in a year.
Drumming up support through sponsorship and stuff like that. I think John's done just a banging job.
So if you look at the sponsors that OKBT has, there's some powerhouses in there.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal job. And everyone also forgets that you're running online events too each month, which are probably more work than anything.
Yeah, they're not. You would think they would be easy, but they come with their own set of problems. Fortunately, I have a good support on the back end with our judge who does all of our live and our online events, and she has been with us for 4 years now, and does a bang up job back there. So it takes a lot of that logistical work off my plate, but it becomes a lot of work at times for sure.
Every single submission through a photo is judged by this. What's her name? Why don't you shout out her name?
Joelle Lozon.
Nice.
And she judges every single submission.
She does.
Yeah. So you got to think about how many fish she would see in a day.
Yeah.
Right. Especially like I know I'm catching a full card every tournament. All these other guys are, right? So you know what I'm saying. So it's a lot of fish.
What tournaments are you in?
Don't worry. I think I got 8th at Cooch with 3 fish 2 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. So we had 12 anglers on the water at Lake St. Clair this year. 9 hours on the water. In that 9-hour period, 785 fish that day.
Wow.
She was on her toes.
No doubt.
I'll bet. So that's her whole day, is just sitting there waiting for these things to come in. She's not doing anything else but sitting looking at like a computer screen all day. Good for her.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So I want to say about, I only made 2 events this year, just young kids, and my wife's new job took weekends and stuff like that. But one thing I've always noticed about these events is that everybody is so friendly at them. Hey, can I help you launch that? Hey, let me drag that. Here's your rods. Hey, let me help you put your wheels on your kayak. It is, and that's one thing. When I went fishing with Tim, I brought Tim down from Geiger Tech to fish an event on St. Clair, and he's like, some guy walks up to us as we're launching. Hey, do you guys want a coffee? Never met the guy in my life. I'm running down and get coffee for everybody here. It's just a different atmosphere. You know what I mean?
And if you're from the boat world, and you come over to it, that's probably one of the first things you notice.
Yeah, there's a ton of great people in the boat world, but it's just different.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's a ton of great people. And it's just a different vibe. It's a different atmosphere, like you said. The egos aren't there, if I can say that.
You can say anything you want.
Everybody's there for a reason, and the reason is to compete in the event. But as a secondary and even a primary reason for a lot of people is to go out and have a great day on the water and have fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Realistically, John, what if somebody wanted to get into this? I'm not talking like rods and lures and stuff like that, but if they wanted a rig that would do them, get them out there, what kind of budget are they looking at? I'm sure you can spend tens of thousands, but what is a good number for a base to get into this?
Well, if you want it to get into it and you want it to be serious at fishing, not just your cottage paddle, you would still be looking at, on a new kayak, and then you would want to go with a pedal so your hands are free, so you're not wasting time paddling. You can fish all the time. You could probably set yourself up ready to go with basic electronics in a kayak, and be ready to go for under 4.
So
you can find used packages out there a lot less than that, for sure.
So I fished my first event on an old kayak I had for duck hunting, a Pelican Catch 120.
And absolutely nothing wrong with that.
And so I think retail on it's around $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I went out and did it, and I had a bad day until the end. I figured, because I went in there, it was on Seymour. I had so much confidence I was going to do well, because I do well on that lake, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I know is when I had my bass boat at that time, it was a whole different style of fishing, right? Everything changed from line management to how you're casting to covering water. And I was so freaking frustrated. It was pouring rain then too. And I remember calling my wife, I'm never doing this again. But as I was watching everybody, I remember this Richard Offner paddled past me on his Hobie with his pedals, like blew by me, and he's looking at his like 12-inch, electronics, and I'm like, I want to be that guy. Like, I don't like, and this was like midday, and I'm like, I'm not going to give up on this. And I actually ended up selling the boat because, I used the money for their stuff. And I called John. Like, I've been talking about it for a while. John let me try his Hobie, and I went out and bought one and whatever. And I actually recently sold it. I got some other plans for a kayak next year. But it's different than what people think. Like, it will humble you. There is some amazing sticks in this series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like we were talking about earlier, guys on the show, like guys who don't fish. Like, there is some, guys that can fish. Like, it's crazy. So,
I know a couple of guys that went from fishing boats to fishing kayaks.
Chris Tosco's one of them.
Yeah.
The guy
and he loves it.
Loves it.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it because now he's gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Didn't he win the first event he was in?
I think he did, yeah. Did he, John? Chris won the first event he was in, right?
He did, yeah. And
lead weights.
I told him that. I told him that's the only one he's going to be given, and after that, he's going to have to work for it. So.
Yeah, no, it's truly like really something, and I think too, as we're going to see the price of, it costs a lot of money to run a boat. Mm-hmm. This is a great way, like the amount of people. So like in this series, John, we have everybody from full-on custom trailers with rod pods and toolboxes and lights, the whole 9 yards, to guys car topping on their Honda Civic. You can literally do this whatever your budget. And it's like a bass tournament. You got a guy in the old 1980s Ranger, and you got a guy in the brand new one with the Merc and the poles and all that. Like, it really, you can get into this anyway.
John, is it true that you can you can fish an area, then pull out, and go somewhere else, and then
yes,
go back in?
You can trailer.
Yeah.
As in the boat world, you guys call it trailering. Yeah. You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So road running. So
that's cool. Well, Chris Toxco's got a kayak for sale right now.
Yeah, I really think that you should buy it, Shawn.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No. Oh, it's gone?
Yeah.
Well, that was quick.
See, John's like the fence.
See how fast these things go?
John can sell anything on the planet in the fishing world.
Oh, I know we've said it a million times, John, that we're going to get out, and we never end up doing it, but I would really, really love to get there.
I would challenge you guys to come to the first event next year because it won't conflict with anything you guys are doing.
All right, well,
right, John?
Let's hear the schedule, John.
Can you announce the schedule for these guys? Because I think we should do it. I'll even sponsor the hotel room for you.
Yeah,
for me or
one
for them?
One king
too,
bed.
John.
I'm not doing that again. I thought for that last time, but
no. John, can you tell us the schedule? Can we announce the schedule right now on the air for everybody?
Yeah, I think we can for sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I know.
All right.
I've been getting bugs since the last event. So hey, why not do it now? What a better place to do it.
So let's back up one quick second. So guys, John runs the OKBT, which is 5 events. You also run the Bass Kayak Series as well. So, which is affiliated with Bass.
With the Bassmaster.
With Bassmaster. Mm-hmm. So can we hear both schedules? Or are you gonna save the Bass one?
Nope, that's fine. I can release that one too. But
peer pressure.
Yeah. We'll do the OKBT first, and then I'll slide that in later on. So
okay, for all you people out there that fish the series or are thinking about it, let's hear it, John. This is it.
All right. So coming up in 2023, putting our minds together again and trying to come up with another season to rival last, and it becomes harder and harder each year, not only to keep the lakes fresh, as we don't like to try to repeat lakes from year to year, but also with the numbers growing, just trying to find lakes that logistically allow us to put those number of people on the lakes with launches and parking. So this year we're going to start off with an early event again. It was a success last year in Sudbury on Ramsey Lake. So May 20th, we will be visiting Lake Nipissing.
Oh, you guys are coming.
Oh, my nemesis.
Yeah.
And we will be fishing Lake Nipissing, basically on the west end. So if you draw a line down from West Nipissing, Sturgeon River down to the bottom, and then everything over into West Bay and West Arm.
Well, that's just great, John, because all my water is on the east side. Thank you.
Good.
There's no water on the east side.
So May 20th, we're on Lake Nipissing. Then we go to the opener in the Kawartha on June 17th, and we're going back to where it all began on Balsam Lake.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
I don't have any time on Balsam. One time.
And after that, we go to July 15th, and we go up to the Big Girl on Lake Simcoe just after opener for Smallies.
That I can't wait.
And where are you doing that out of, John?
Sean, look at your
Lake
face right now.
Simcoe.
What's with your face, Sean?
So just anywhere in Lake Simcoe? Like, do you have like
It's the whole lake. We won't. I haven't set up a headquarters for it for afterwards yet, but it'll be somewhere that is probably equidistance from the farthest spots.
I can't freaking wait for that event.
Why? Because you went and smashed it.
Oh my! No,
once?
it's just that place is just magical. If you can figure it out, I don't care. I like. You know what? I just like big water fishing like that.
What if it's a blowout day, bud? Like, what do you do? Do you change lakes or do you
We fish.
No,
postpone,
we typically fish, dude.
Really? Eh?
You know, we've been on St. Clair when there's been 2 days of 3 to 4 foot rollers, and you know, there's always enough water to be able to find a spot, and you know, to get out of it or to make it a little bit more comfortable anyway. But it's just one of those things. It's part of the game as far as I'm concerned. We haven't postponed or canceled an event because of weather yet, and it would take an awful lot to do it. First of all, it's very, very difficult logistically to try to contact 112 people.
Gotcha.
Even if you send out emails, I can guarantee if you got 100 people, 40 of them read an email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just one of those things where people have to understand their skills and their comfort zone, and they have to work with it from there.
So after Simcoe, what's next?
So August 12th, we're had such a great event this year. We're going back to Georgian Bay, but this time we're heading a little bit further north, and we're going to do the area in and around Perry Sound.
Wow, true provincial series here. Almost like this is phenomenal. And like John said,
we try to cover a lot of miles. Like we got guys traveling a lot of miles to these. Like guys, we have 10 or 12 guys that are consistently coming in from the Windsor area to all these events. So
and like you said, John, like you try not to do the same lakes every year. Like it's not like the series. A lot of the big boy. Hey, you know, we're always fishing rice. We're always fishing balsam. We're always fishing, you know, this that.
No.
Boring.
So these guys, you change it up.
Yeah, and if we do a lake, you know, 2 years later, we try to switch seasons. So that brings us to the next event. Something we've been wanting to try for a couple of years. And I got harassed by, you know, somebody this year to really get after it, Kyle.
No, wait, time out. Let's back up because there's people listening to this. I harassed you on the format. I did not harass you on the location. I want to make that clear. Correct? Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Now,
so
I do like this location, but I did not pick it. I want to know that. Okay.
So
I'm covered.
For the final event
I'm not doing a lie detector. Okay.
So the final event this year, September 9th and 10th, it will be a 2-day event to finish off the season this year. We will be on Tri-Lakes, Pigeon, Chemung, and
that is a lot of water.
Upper Buckhorn.
Love it. This is awesome. Sean is so excited. He's signing up for all 5.
Yeah, I don't got the legs to paddle one of those things, boy.
So John and a few of us, lots of people, I'm sure John's talked to lots, but I really wanted to see the 2-day format because I wanted to see people and John, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the best of both days combined, correct?
It's 10. It's 5 each day.
So like your best 10 fish, right?
It's
5
one
each
event
day
during 2 days.
But I want to see
two separate events.
Best 5. It's your best 5 each day. It's not your best 10.
Okay, so I'm wrong. So it's by the way, it's a 2-day
two
event.
separate events.
No, it's one event. But if you do 3 fish the first day and you limit the second day, it's your best 8 then, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's
it's the total of your 2 days.
Exactly.
5 per day.
Exactly what I'm trying to get at. Sorry. So like your best of day 1 and your best of day 2 added together.
Correct.
Okay.
2-day events are, well, like anything, they're a different animal because you can smoke it on day 1 and you can crash it on day 2, but you know.
I wanted to see how many guys could do it. But like John said, smoke them both days. Because like you said, like that's a lot of water to cover. Mm-hmm. So I am pumped for that. It's already in my calendar.
Oh, yeah?
Now, in our defense, John only told me this about 5 minutes before he came on the air just to make sure like we had it down. So I was not privy to any information more than anybody else. Except we were airing this anyways. Don't worry about it. But yeah, my point. This is, John, good job is all I have to say on that schedule.
That's cool.
Thanks.
It is.
That's not, that will truly get out the best of the best. in this kayak world. I think
it will be interesting. We last year we had a pretty solid schedule. We introduced quite a bit more bigger water, you might want to say. To some people, they were concerned, but our numbers show that everyone loved it. We had not only record attendance, we also had record bags coming in. It was all around good year, and I'm expecting the same for this year for sure.
So I agree. I think you're definitely going to see some growth. That Nipissing event, so like it's open up there earlier than our Kawartha zone down here.
Yep.
And
actually, May 20th, our day we're there, is actually opening day.
So if anybody's thinking about trying an event but doesn't want to give up their precious big boat time down here, message me. I'll help you line up a kayak to use that day. It's like John will back me up. Between the club, there's usually enough people willing to help out get somebody in the sport. Like my Pelican catch, it's still there. Hey, it's nothing special, but hey, you want to borrow it? Have at it. Like that's who, you know what I mean? I don't care who you are. So that's a great opportunity if you guys want to try it early in the season, and you might get hooked, and you might want to come do some more of them. But that's
hey,
awesome.
Could I put dibs on that one with the motor, John?
No. No. They can't. They have to struggle their first event.
I will come, but I'm an old man, and I need a motor.
So let's get it.
It's the same game, guys. It's just different. So you're not going to be running and gunning, 3 miles to go try another spot. So it's, you learn to, like Kyle says, it has its learning curve. Let's put it that way.
So let's hear
I think, most people that try it enjoy it.
So you got a derby opening day.
We got 2 derbies opening day this year. We have May 20th up on Nipissing, which is their opening day, and we have June 17th on Balsam, which is our Zone 17 opening day.
Are there any rules against pre-fish?
Well, you're obviously not pre-fishing for those 2 events.
Right.
I like that.
Are you still allowed on the water? Just no rods?
Well, technically you can't be kept off the water. If there's other species in the lake, you could be out there fishing for them, right?
Right.
We have to, have faith that, people aren't targeting.
Yep.
Like in any sport, you're going to have people that try to, press the rules.
Yeah.
That's one of my pet peeves for tournaments on opening days. Guys going out pike fishing.
Oh yeah.
The week before.
Yeah.
I'm actually pumped. There's 2 on opening day.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna speak my mind because you know what? It's our show and I can. So it's nothing against OKBT or anything like that. But so many people don't know how to pre-fish properly. And I'm sick of watching everybody sting the fish all week. And then wonder why they don't catch anything on tournament day.
Well, that's just
right.
It is.
So it's just it drives me nuts.
And that's across the board. That's in kayaks. It's in boats.
100%.
Sure it is.
So everybody I know I offended some people there, and I'm at the point where I don't care on that topic because it is crazy. Like posting big fish pictures all week on your pre-fishes and that there's a technique to this. Hey, I'm the farthest thing from a pro angler. But I learned how to pre-fish from some of the best guys in the industry. The problem is I never get out to pre-fish. If I ever could, I'm coming for you, Tyler. Trust me, if I ever do. But the point being is that some guys they don't know how to do it properly. There's a technique to it. There is.
Correct.
So
correct. And I think Shawn asked if we have any rules or any something against pre-fish.
Right.
We don't really. Once the season's open, we don't have any off-limit times in the OKBT. I would like to make the week before the event off-limits, but it's an unrealistic thing to attempt to do. One, you can't police it, and number 2 is a lot of these guys come from out of town, and some of them use these as vacations. So they might come up and camp for 4 or 5 days with the family and that, and seeing as this is like an all-inclusive series, it's not fair to say to somebody that you can't go fish,
right?
As well. But again, that's the way it goes. Some can do it, some can't, and that's the way it goes.
Right. So you got a Bassmaster schedule as well?
Yeah. Like you mentioned earlier, not only the OKBT, but I also run the Ontario Kayak Bass Masters, which is part of the Ontario Bass Nation. Reason for running that was so we could qualify guys to go down and fish the Bassmaster Kayak Classic events down south every spring during the Bass Classic. So we got 5 guys going down this year. We had guys up on the stage last year. So far, it's been a great success over 3 years. Schedule this year is looking pretty good. June 18th. We do these on the Sunday after the OKBT Saturday events, because that way guys are already in the area and ready to fish. So June 18th, Sunday, we are doing the Dalrymple.
Ooh, Shawn's in for that one too.
Yeah. Sunday, July 16th, after Lake Simcoe, we are doing Kuchiching.
Oh, I'm in for that one.
And August 13th, after Georgian Bay, we drop down a little bit south and hit Sparrow Lake. And then on the August 26th and 27th, I believe is the date, is our 2-day provincial championship where we qualify the guys to go down to the Classic. And this year it's going to be 2 days and it's going to be on Stony.
Wow, that's a banging series right there.
See what I mean? It's awesome.
That's banging.
And he did a really good job. So if you look at the dates, if the OKBT's on Saturday, the Bass is usually fairly close in location on the Sunday. Am I right, John? So guys can do them both. So if you get a campsite for one, you're good to stay for the other. It's very well thought out.
Yeah.
It's something, man. It's
well done, John.
Yeah,
well
done to you. And I'll speak openly. We sponsor the series, and it's been nothing but amazing return on investment for us. So anybody that's looking to get involved with this, any company, reach out to John. It's worth it. The platform you guys are offering is worth the investment for people to get involved with. 100%.
No, thank you very much.
No.
Yes. Yeah, we try to do our best, and I think over the last 4 or 5 years we've got a pretty good healthy support system through our corporate sponsors and that, and I think it shows something that they stay with us year after year.
Yeah.
Without any issues at all, and it's fantastic. And like Kyle said, Greywood with Daiwa and Garmin and that, they've been with us since actually Kyle was our very first sponsor for Daiwa, our very first year, and he's been with us since day one. So
we're not going anywhere.
To everybody,
John, I take it you guys are going to be at CanCast
again. Yes, we will.
Okay, so you're going to have a display. People can come talk to you there.
Yep, we'll be there again for sure.
So there's a number of kayak anglers coming to CanCast this year, and I've been arguing with myself as me and Lan were starting the floor plan, because it's 6 months away. The 6 months is going to come quick, okay? Mm-hmm. Do we want the kayak guys all in one spot, John, or do we got to spread you out? That's what I'm debating, if we have a little kayak alley or what. So maybe hit me with some feedback on that off the record later, but I just the number of kayak people that want to get into it, and dealers, and there's also a lot of guys in the kayak community that make their own baits. They want to sell and stuff like that. So it's shaping up. If you want to, that's the place to go to learn a lot about it. So
we were surprised last year how busy we were at our booth. It was nonstop all day.
Yeah.
We had a couple real
we had
slick
construction
rigs
zone across the way, and we were, bottleneck there, but it was fantastic. So.
Yeah, we'll have you guys in a better spot this year. With both buildings, our space has really opened up. So, I know we've released very limited details on this event, but I'm promising you guys that this is going to be this is going to be really something, and mark it on your calendars. We appreciate you guys being there and supporting our show back, and we're looking forward to everything you guys have to offer next year. And man, I know I speak for all three of us here that we wish you guys nothing but the best and keep up the good work.
Well, we appreciate that. And, like I said, we appreciate everything that you guys are doing for us, not only in Ontario, but, around anybody in the listening audience that's going to be able to come up to this zone. So, the podcasts so far have been great. I've been listening to every one of them, and enjoyable and informative, and sometimes funny at the same time. So
have you been watching them or just listening?
I watch them.
Atta boy.
Good job.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe too.
Yeah.
So John, before I let you go, we're going to start our dialogue Q&A session here shortly for Mark and Shawn, which is funny because nobody ever asks me any questions. It's like nobody cares.
Cares, Kyle.
I want John, do you have any questions, anything in the world you would like to ask Mark and Shawn right now? Start this off.
Anything in the world, eh? Oh, that's kind of a loaded question.
That is a loaded question.
Yeah.
You better put some limits on that.
Family show, John.
Okay. All right. We'll take it this way. Give me your quick dollar thoughts on what went down this past weekend in Erie.
Oh, you just listened to the whole first half hour of this show.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a different one then. So.
Yeah.
Woody, take that one to the cutting room floor, will you?
Yeah. No, we're leaving that in. We're leaving that in.
All right. Let's go this way. Today was the first day at Lake Hartwell. Second last event of the year for the Open Series. Cooper had a fairly decent day, sitting in a good position.
Yeah, I think he's 39th. I think he's sitting out of 187, I believe.
32nd, I thought I saw it.
Was it?
But you could be right. Yeah, somewhere around there anyway. So what are your guys' thoughts? What are your predictions? Does he make it? Doesn't he?
Oh, I hope he makes it. There's not a kid out there that's trying harder, I don't think. And he's putting his heart, his soul, all his time and effort. And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy if he did.
Well, I was talking to him earlier. He thinks he's going to need 13 or 14 tomorrow to
which is what he had today. Was 13
to
and change.
Have a solid chance at the elites. I think he's on good fish right now. He figured out a pretty good deal this week, so I think that he can get 13 again tomorrow. This kid's destined to fish the elites. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah, and
right?
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
He's it's what he wants to do. And it's what he's going to do. Like I agree. There's no other option for him in his mind. So he's just going to work. And if he just misses it again this year, like last year, he just missed it.
Yeah, he did
by the skin of his teeth. And he's right there again this year with the Red River kind of snuck up on him and kicked him square in the nuts. But he's still right there in the Southerns, and he's still right there in the overalls. So.
Yep. Exactly.
But he could seal the deal this tournament and qualify.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he makes
let me give you part B of that question then. Another buddy of yours and everybody else, Danny McGarry, down fishing Pickwick.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen there?
He's going to win it.
I think
he's going to win it. I honestly do.
I'm going to answer this, John, because then I can actually say someone actually asked me a question. Danny is going to top 3 that event. Top 5 for sure. I know he needs to be top 3, I think.
We're not even talking about being outside of the 3.
Yeah, I actually think he'll top 3 that event.
He is so focused on that event.
He's pissing confidence too, mentally. The thing I like about Cooper and Danny is, I didn't know him growing up like you guys did, but the last few, but we
were growing up, they were growing up.
Well, no, you get my point. You can see these guys their whole mindsets are changing, evolving, maturing, figuring this thing out. I'm telling you, man, he's top 3 in that event.
Yeah. It's unreal, these kids, that they can remember all these different waypoints and all this other shit, and they can't remember to tie their shoes in the morning
or eat their vegetables.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're a different breed. They've got her down. And but no, Danny's super focused on this derby. We talk about it every day, right?
We're gonna see 5 Canadians in the Classic this year. That's my prediction.
For sure.
Yeah,
well, we got 4 there right now anyway, right?
Yes, we do.
So
we just need Danny to pull up his bootstraps and get her done for us. So.
He will. Well,
but I will ask you guys one favor. When you're down there this March at the Classic, don't forget to cheer for us 5, Ontario boys that are going to be at the Classic. And then, hopefully we'll have at least one of them up on the stage on the Friday.
The kayak
At the
guys.
wake.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And
Yeah.
we're gonna have 10 Canadians at the class.
Yeah, we were partying with some of the kayak guys at the first ever kayak bass master. I think we were out with
So
the guy that
that's
came in
your-
second.
Is that your limit, John? Five anglers?
No, we qualify 10% of our field.
So you could send. So what happened
We
to
had
the other?
51 guys fishing this year, so 50.
Oh,
so
I got
5
it.
qualified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That'd be cool to do.
And our buddy Chris Tosco was the bubble boy, was he not?
He was the bubble boy. He was out by a quarter of an inch.
So if someone drops out, could he still go?
No, there's no roll downs.
No rollouts. Okay.
Really, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
poor guy.
Oh, it's
Well-
you win and you're in kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Well,
So those guys will be down there, and they're fishing Chickamauga too. So
Well, I'm going to call it right now. Chris Tatosca will qualify next year with that lake setup that I just seen.
So is it just the last
It's
event,
just the
John?
2 events, yeah. It's just the 2
it's
days.
just a 2-day that you qualify out of.
Yeah.
And remind me, which lake is that one on for bass?
Stony.
Oh yeah, he's in.
Dude, every single one of those lakes.
I know.
is in.
He's gonna lose his mind on that bass schedule.
Yeah, when he sees it, he's going to fall in love.
Yeah. He is. Got himself a nice new.
Hopefully, he has to work every weekend.
Rumor is he's got a nice new rig too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
lightly
rumor
used.
has it.
Hasn't seen many fish. I know that. I know the guy that's used it. He hasn't seen many fish.
Does it burn oil?
John, right before we started this podcast, I said to Mark and Shawn, we cannot talk about my truck. Okay?
Oh, sorry.
It was like
Too soon?
it was like a
Way
rule.
too
Oh my
soon.
gosh.
Yeah, good call, John.
I wish it.
Sorry, guys,
burned
sorry.
oil.
Is your truck here?
No, I don't. My truck.
Enough said.
Yeah, I
So,
don't
John,
have.
before we
I
go,
don't have a truck.
what is the requirements you have to do one of your series? Like as per boat, is there a minimum size, or is there?
Yeah. For the kayaks, we require a minimum size of 9 feet and a maximum size of. Ooh, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 16.
So I can't bring the dragon boat out.
No. No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, John, I appreciate everything, buddy, and we will be talking to you. Thanks for kicking off our Q&A session there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for inviting me on, and appreciate the the assistance and everything. Have a good night, guys, and we will talk to you later.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers,
Thank
man.
you.
Take care, John.
Bye now.
All right. Well, he saved me here because, he had lots of questions. So a little bit shorter Q&A session tonight. It's my fault because I was a little bit late getting it up for everybody. I haven't got a chance to read them all, but here we go. Okay. So this one is from our friend Chris Flay. Who was the first Canadian to fish the Classic?
Charles Sims.
Not
No.
true.
I think there was someone
It
before
was,
him. And by the way, I didn't verify or get the correct answer, so we're going to need Woody to
Yeah,
step
you're
in
right.
here.
I want to say
it was-
Hank Gibson, but I'm not sure.
Woody
I
got
think
Google.
you're right.
Woody's
I think
going to
it's
Google.
Hank
I think you might be right, but
Yeah.
we'll let someone Google that there.
Yeah.
Charleston was the second.
Yeah, I'm
Canadian.
pretty sure because it's a Hank Gibson qualifier.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. The best employee you have ever had, Shawn.
The best employee.
Someone
ever had?
who is the best employee at McCall Construction. I wonder who.
Who sent that question? And I'll bet you I know.
Well, you tell us who your best employee ever was, and you can guess who sent the question.
Well, I'm the best employee at McCall Construction.
Enough said. Who sent it in?
Definitely Danny McGarry sent that in.
Yeah,
He did.
for
Or his
sure.
mom.
Danny, you in a cooler. Okay. All right.
He knows he's the best.
Whose face is on your socks?
You know what? I don't know. A few years ago, I guess my wife made us a present each. Oh, no way.
Mark Hunter.
Oh, show him to the cameras. Show him to the cameras. That smells
He
like
has socks with my face on it, and I have
Mark
socks
Hunter
with his
socks.
face on it. It was our Christmas present from my wife a few years ago.
Yeah,
That's cute.
I wear them all the time.
Okay.
That is me.
That is you, yeah.
All right. Favorite lake in the Kawarthas?
Favorite lake in the Kawarthas? For bass, I'm
Just your
guessing.
favorite lake. It could be for sun lounging the way you fish.
Jeez. I'm going to have to say Shamong. I don't know.
I would go.
I had a trailer on Chemung for 13
That would
years,
probably
so,
be my favorite.
Yeah.
I like
Stop fishing at people.
For all-around fishing, I like balsam.
I've only been on balsam once in the fall with Matt Pizzetta, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
But I got excited about like John, the kayak series there. But I think that's the best part is it makes me go fish new lakes. And like, for example, I've been on Simcoe, but I'm so excited to go back there. You know, I've been on Cooch once. I'm so excited to get back there because I've fished Corfus, grew up fishing Corfus, right? But like Nipissing, I've never fished Nipissing, but I'm so pumped to go there. You know what I mean? So, but I would probably, Tri-Lakes would be mine.
Nipissing is so cruel to me.
It's gonna be cruel too in a rubber tub.
Yeah, no, so. I like balsam. Balsam, it's got killer smallmouth. It's got good pike fishing. It's got amazing walleye fishing. Yeah. You can largemouth fish there. Like you can do it all.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I love pike fishing there.
Yeah, me too.
In the spring, but it's
So, okay, biggest fish you ever caught through the ice?
Through the ice.
Through the ice.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd have to be a muskie.
Yeah,
on
same.
A Skoogog.
So that actually answered my next question. Your biggest muskie you've ever caught, and
was through the ice.
Through the ice?
No,
okay.
Mine was a 52-incher, and it caught it at the dam.
You're in the 50-inch club?
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Yeah.
So our next episode is going to be a little bit muskie focused. We're trying to actually line up a date to have our friends at Muskie Maniacs on. So I'm pretty excited about that. Cool. So lots of cool stuff happening. Okay, last question. You can spend a day in a boat with one of these guys. Azumi, Zona, or Kevin Van Dam. Who are you choosing? Take your friendships out of it.
Well, I had breakfast with Azumi the other day.
So he's out because you say you didn't know Azumi. He's still your childhood hero. You haven't become friends with him yet.
It would be Azumi all day long. I would still do that
Zona
now.
or Kevin Van Dam. Okay.
I would still do. I love talking to that
I
guy.
would honestly, I would probably choose Bob.
He puts
too.
his little hand in mine.
I would think, I'm going Bob too.
I think I would too. I think just spending a day with him, I love talking to that guy.
I think it would be Bob's,
and
Zona,
Darren.
then Van Dam.
Yeah,
I think would be my order.
Those Azumis are great people.
But I'd love to go out with Matt Robertson or Seth Fighter. I would love to go out with two.
Oh, I have the best Matt Robertson story. The first time he met me at ICAST, I don't even think I can say it on there, but man, was it funny.
Did he want to wrestle you?
No, but I did see him try to wrestle a few people.
Oh, yeah. He's big into the wrestling.
He
is.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like following his content. So that's it. That's it for the Q&A. It's a little soft this week. I let you guys down.
That's all right.
We're going to be back up bigger and better next time.
We don't like tests.
I know, you guys, I can't wait for you guys to come for a list of questions for me, you know?
Well, we will next week.
All right.
Dude, that's a challenge.
Next show, we're
going to change this up.
Yeah?
Q&A is going to, each week, we're going to take a turn. So you're up next. Bring 10 questions for me and Shawn. The week after that, and our guest. We're going to have guests sometimes.
Yeah?
Then you do the 10. Get what I'm saying? We're in for that?
It's got to be 10?
No. Well,
what if you had 5 quality?
So now you're giving us homework.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I pay you a huge financial sum every week, of course,
true.
right?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's 0, but we're good. No, so,
we just got to, we got all these zeros. We just got to get a number in front of that.
Yeah, we're working on it. So, anyways, Tech15, yellowtech.ca.
That's it.
Help with all that. So, man, I had a lot of fun tonight. This is cool. And I just talking fishing. You can't beat it, especially when you know the season's coming to an end soon.
Whoa. Season's not coming to the end.
Yeah, well,
no, it's not.
Never.
There's still lots of fishing left.
Mark, your boat's winterized. You're good.
No, it is not.
Oh,
Pool is.
Are you fishing this weekend?
I'm gonna fish either Saturday or Sunday. We're doing our Thanksgiving Monday, and tomorrow night I'm going Colby. Colby's got a fundraiser going, poker tournament to help him get down to the States to fish. So I'm doing that tomorrow night.
Nice. You fishing this weekend?
Unfortunately, not this weekend. I've got a big family weekend this weekend with all my family, and I broke my trolling motor anyway, so
You need a trolling motor.
it's time for a new trolling motor.
Cool. I'm fishing, but thanks for asking, guys.
Are you going fishing, Kyle?
Well, that was going to be one of my questions next week.
I'm going to try. Look, I'm serious. Next year, and anyone listening to this, I actually have a plan to make all 5 of those events, as well as the Tin Boat Championship, which we need to pick a date on very soon. We got to get serious about this. So that's going to be a side conversation here. But I'm going to try to do all 5 of those tournaments.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're going to go at. You're going to go for it.
My biggest thing
are you
is...
going to do the OKBT?
I'm going to do the OKBT, and I'm going to do the Bass, probably Coochie event. I won't be able to do them all. I got
You're
kids.
not going to try to qualify for the Classic?
I might.
Go to do the Stony 2 Day. Why not?
We'll see.
Why wouldn't you try to qualify for the Classic?
Because I don't know. I can. Like, it's not like a dream of mine where I gotta go fish the Kayak Classic yet.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be like crazy?
It would be cool. But like, what I mean is just my biggest thing is I don't get the time to do the pre-fishing. But I don't even care. I'm not even going in for results next year. I'm just going to fish. And you know what?
Good
I can stay in the top half of the field without whatever. Like I said, there's some sticks, man. I love it. So I got a new setup coming for next year. I'm gonna build a trailer.
You gonna tell us about it or
no?
No,
I haven't exactly confirmed it, so I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
It'll be at CanCast though, on display beside the tin boat. So yeah, but no, this is awesome. So before we wrap this up, guys, I want to thank Yellow Tech again for everything they're doing, kicking us off here. Also, April 2nd is the big day. Mark it on your calendars. I'm telling you right now, there's stuff coming to this show that's never been seen before. Don't forget, we're also the first show in Canada that goes right after the Classic. We're literally a week after this year. We're going to come home from the Classic. We're going to be right to setting up this show. Yep. The new products that launch at the Classic will all be here at the show. Whoa. So anyways.
Sorry, I'm just putting the show date in my phone. I didn't put it in there yet.
Oh, jeez. He wouldn't show up or something. So
April 2nd, right?
April 2nd. Mark, any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
Don't cheat.
100%. Shawn?
Final thought?
Yeah. You always have more than one.
No, you put me on the spot. Get your buddy's face put on your socks.
Yeah. Comfort.
Anyone got
Hey, Kyle, do you have a question?
Kyle?
Hey, Kyle.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, before you drive to North Bay, make sure you have at least 5 quarts of oil with you. Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Everyone, be safe. Have fun out there. Enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. This should be up around Thanksgiving at some point, guys. We appreciate everybody. And make sure you like, subscribe, download it on Spotify, even if you watch it on YouTube. We appreciate it, guys. Cheers.
But wait, there's more.
Play it during Thanksgiving dinner for your family.
Yes. Awesome.
That's what memories are made of.
Signing off. Cheers.
I want to put a new final thought in there.
Uh-oh.
I already signed. I signed us off twice. I literally said cheers. I literally said guys. You can't talk after I say cheers.
You said goodbye, and then he can cut it, and then we can edit in my final thought, cut it what I said, and put in my final thought, my real final thought.
You're the boss.
My real one. Can we do that, Woody?
Sure. Oh, he's not even gonna cut it. We're gonna keep rolling this through. I can tell.
No.
Yeah. No, it'd be funnier if we did.
So, when Phil and I hit that shoal,
Told you, he always has more than one.
Right. No, when Phil and I hit that shoal, we didn't even stop and say we're done.
It wasn't even like a question.
It wasn't even a question.
It's like it wasn't even like let's go home and get another boat. Fix this boat.
Yeah. Don't give up until that's all there is.
Yeah.
Right? Don't give up. That's my final thought.
Awesome. Actually, you know what's funny is all right, I'm gonna add a final thought too. I've been having a rough few weeks. Not rough in like I'm busy, I'm tired. I'm just, haven't had much time for
you look
kids.
like shit.
I do.
And your cat's crooked.
We're busy at work and we're doing booking season and my hat is crooked. And my daughter came up to me and she goes, "Daddy, always work hard and never give up." I just melted into a puddle. I'm like, what? Like 4-year-old just told me that, and it's like, holy crap, I need to hear that. And it's like, you're why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It was awesome. It was like a parent moment. Never forget. Sorry, I'm just a sentimental person like that. So
that's okay, buddy.
Yeah. So anyways, there you go. Like Shawn said, never give up. Awesome, guys. Thank you, everybody. Be safe out there.